bigcal and welcome to my world. Today another recent video games pickups video, and today's a little bit special because it's all Japanese import games. Yes! So let's dive in first, shall we, with a TurboGrafx game. I don't even know the system for this, but I wanted it for my collection because it's a wrestling game, and it is Fanfare Pro Wrestling Second Bout, I believe it's known as. There we go. Yeah, and of course these come on hue cards. There's what it looks like, a little credit card sized game there, always kind of cool. And yeah, it's a Fanfare Pro Wrestling game. They are basically sort of always the same type of game with the odd exception, which we'll get to later in this video actually. Yeah, so I wanted this for the collection. I've obviously played it on emulator to get some footage up, and yeah, it's a Fanfare Pro Wrestling game. Which then leads us to the next one of the series, the third game, which I think is like three final bout or something. Yep, so there we go. Legend Bout says right on the back. Fanfare Pro Wrestling 3 Legend Bout. And again, little hue cardy thing for it there. Very cool, but yeah, I don't own the system to actually play them on, and I probably won't really, because it's not the easiest thing to get, and you know, it's expensive to collect for. It's not really my thing. So yeah. Moving on then, we have the Sega Saturn. Again, I don't own one, but when I own the games for it that I want, you know, the wrestling ones for the collection. So I played this through emulator, and this is Fanfare Pro Wrestling 6-Man Scramble. And this is often claimed to be one of the best Fanfare Pro Wrestling games. And yeah, it's Fanfare Pro Wrestling. I mean, what more do you need? And what I love especially about the Japanese Fanfare Pro Wrestling games, you always get these, not just one manual, but you'll get two. So you've got the ordinary one in there, and then in here you've got one with all the controls and everything for different moves for every character, which is always really, really cool. Let's just close that up. So we've got a nice big double CD case just so you can fit the manual in it, basically. Yeah, so that's Fanfare Pro Wrestling 6-Man Scramble for the Sega Saturn. Plays really fun. And then we move on to one of those that are quite different. So this is, and if you notice me looking over here, I've got a piece of paper with some English names for things, or translations, or basically some info on them, because I can't remember things. So this one also for the Saturn is Blazing Tornado. And not just Fanfare Pro Wrestling, but Fanfare Pro Gaiden Blazing Tornado. I think it's sort of like a spin-off, or a what do you call it game? A collaboration with some other IP, not entirely sure. I've seen different things online when I've looked it up, but it does not play like a regular Fanfare Pro game. I was completely lost with it. I was expecting to try and you know, get the timing down, and just no matter what I did, I could not get the timing down. If I hit a move, it was by pure accident. After looking into a bit of research into it, turns out it's a button mashing style game, so that's why I couldn't figure it out. But it looks really good, and I suppose if I got the hang of how to play it, it'd probably be a lot better. Next we have Giant Gram All Japan Pro Wrestling 2 for the Dreamcast. Now, where are we with Dreamcast games? Yeah, I think I own one of the others. Yes, I think I own the third one, and this is the second. I just need the first now at some point, and yeah. Really interesting game, quite fun. Not the first one I've played, obviously. So yeah, you get the All Japan cast and things like that, and it's a decently fun wrestling game. So it's one of those that, again, I want to put in more time to actually play and figure out. Now, moving on, we have some games on the floor. Ignore those for now. So the PlayStation 1, and this is Zen Nippon Pro Wrestling. Probably completely butchered how that is, but yeah. So that is this game right here. Controls are just awkward as hell, and I just couldn't figure out really how to do anything in the game. It's one of those I would really have to look into and get a move guide and everything, but just putting the disc in, loading it up and trying different button combinations, barely got anywhere with the game. And I think this is an All Japan game as well. Could be wrong on that. I think it is based on the roster, but yeah, That for the PS1, and again this comes with yeah, 2 manuals. You got the regular one, and then you got one for all the moves and everything, but of course it's all in Japanese, so aside from, press X and this button, it'll do something, but I don't know if you're standing, if you're running, if you're on the top turnbuckle. I have no idea what's going to happen, so it's kind of difficult to play at the moment. Right, let's get the games off the floor. Next we have AllStar Pro Wrestling from Squaresoft of all people on the PlayStation 2. Now this one I think is New Japan with a couple of other promotions that are basically not all Japan. They're sort of grouped together to make one big All-Star game. And this has a bit of a reputation for its controls with the way that it uses the analog sticks, and it's very interesting. It's sort of innovative. It doesn't really work properly. It doesn't feel that very good to play, but I had a bit of fun testing out the game footage, recording game footage, testing the game. Yeah, but definitely not the best wrestling game on the PlayStation 2, and certainly not the Japanese PlayStation 2 wrestling game that I would go for given the chance. Lastly, final Japanese game. It's not a wrestling game. No. It is Dragon Quest Characters Torneko no Daibuken 3. Literally butchered that, I'm guessing, but yeah, it is a spin-off to the Dragon Quest series, part of the Mystery Dungeon series, I think it is, yes, and it is a roguelike RPG game, so very different from the regular ones. We never got any of these over here in the UK, I don't think they ever came outside of Japan, actually. Yeah. But we have Torneko, who is Torneko Talon. You probably know him better as Talon, at least in Europe, from the English translation. And he was in Dragon Quest IV. He was the merchant that you get to play as and basically go exploring dungeons for items, come back and sell them. I think that's sort of the essence of the gameplay here. But I couldn't tell you because I didn't get very far because it's all in Japanese. I had no idea what was going on. But I love Dragon Quest, so when I saw this on the website I was ordering some of the games from anyway. It was cheap. I figured, why not? I'll add it to the collection. Plus, who doesn't like Talon? Great character. So there we have another episode of Recent Video Game Pickups. This time was all Japanese imports. Let me know down in the comments below, not just what you thought of the games that I got, but if you would be interested in me doing these pickups with a theme every now and then. So I might show off ones where I've just picked up platformers, or more Japanese imports, and just wrestling games. Something like that, something with a bit of theme, maybe from a particular developer. So let me know down in the comments below what you think of that idea, if it's something you'd like me to do, and let me know if there's any other games that I should pick up, really. So I'm bigcal. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.